What is up, everybody? Jester here, and today we're back playing No Man's Sky. I say back, I gave this game up 3 years ago with a couple 3,000 hours in it. Granted, that was mostly on Xbox, but I did set up this PC account at that time when I did the switch over, so I do have some stuff done here. But today I want to prove to you guys that even in 2023, the best way to make money playing this game is still going to be farming and crafting. I'm going to share with you a very simple base build that I've been using forever. It's super easy to make, and it really doesn't take that many resources, but you need to get out and do your salvage data so you can unlock all the parts. That being said, let's get in the ship and let's get out hunting for the right planet. The target for us today is going to be Emerald. And we're going to be just looking for a solo base on this one, just so I can show you how simple this actually is. I've got a whole bunch of other bases. We'll get into more of that at the end of the video. Stick around. I'll show you how you can even make this design a little bit better. For now, let's get on the ground and let's start searching for our spot. Now, once you hit the ground, the first thing you're going to want to do is bring up your scanner. Now, this is why I said earlier that it's really important to do all your salvage data in the space anomaly, because without these things installed into your exosuit, you're not going to be able to do this. So what we just found here is a sea-level deep mineral deposit, and we don't know what it is yet, so we'll have to go over there and investigate. And let's go ahead and jetpack over and let's see what we're getting into. Now, once you get within range of the hotspot you're looking at, you just need to walk up on it. Just get it down to about 4 to 3 or 4. It'll automatically start analyzing. This is paraffinium. This is not what we're going to be looking for. And that also means we're going to have to go about 350 to 400 meters away from that hotspot before we could even detect another one. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the point where I find the one we're looking for. And major spoiler alert, this B-class deposit that we just found is the emerald that we were looking for. From here, I like to do two quick things. One, make sure that we got a power supply nearby. You can do this with solar. It just takes so many more resources. Secondly, I like to put a save beacon down on the spot that we discovered. From there, all we really need to do is go over and see how far away we are from that power supply. Let's get there and check it out. Now, these power hotspots work exactly the same as the mineral hotspots. You walk up to them, you analyze it, and it's going to always be that class of power. It's never going to jump up to S or A or any of that type of stuff. This is a C class. From here, what I'd like to do is turn around from the spot we discovered it and take a peek at how far away I am from the actual deposit. In this case, we're about 285 units, which means about 140 is about halfway. All we need to do is go down there and build a base computer. Once that base computer is down, you simply have to click into it and claim your base. Sometimes this can be a problem if other people are nearby, but I actually discovered this whole star system, so I'm really the only game in town at this point. Not going to have any issues with any of that. Once you come back down to your planet, it's time to actually start building. Now, what I like to do is I like to use the prefab rooms, and I also like to build on a downhill slope. I'll show you why here in just a minute. What I like to select, you can do the cylindrical room or you can do the deep water chamber so long as you've done your salvage data. This one, you don't need any glass and you get a nice glass room. Oh, and check your colors. They love to change. Now, the next thing that I like to do is I like to go on the side that is facing the mineral deposit or the gas deposit, whatever it is you're trying to mine. I like to put a glass corridor there. You don't need glass. I just like glass because you can see out of it. From there, we're going to do a series of hollow doors. Now, as long as you stay in the build menu, your color shouldn't change, but this is going to be kind of a reoccurring theme. Go ahead and put one of those hollow doors on the outside of that little corridor. We're going to put one on this side so we can get in and out. Even though we're building down here, we could have done a foundation, raised it up a touch, but you know, it is what it is. We can always flatten that out. We're then going to put one more hollow door on that side. Then we're going to go up into our technology section, and now this is why we build downhill. We're going to put a landing pad in. This is just so simple. It doesn't cost you any launch fuel when you take off from here. No big deal. Just make sure that's connected now to your building, and voila, it's done. It's just that simple, and you don't have any terrain edits or anything else to do. Of course, we do actually here, so let's go ahead and get into flatten mode, and let's just make a small little area here so we can get in and out. And I'm trying to start that about the same level as the actual door, so we don't need to put in a ramp or stairs or anything. We can just easily get in and out. The last thing we're going to put in here before we can really start getting the nuts and bolts of this is going to be a base teleport module. Every base you build needs one of these. This way you can teleport back and forth. Very, very easy. This should be one of the first things you unlock with that salvage data. We're going to put this against that back window, which has nothing that's attached to it, and just place that down. Again, checking your colors. From there, all I really need to do is go to my scanner and find out where that power supply was at. And then we just need to go up there and prep the area, and we'll be ready to get going. Now that we've gotten back up to our place, what we're looking for here is the local field strength versus max field strength. You're looking for those numbers to be as close together as possible. That way you're getting max value out of your hotspot. That goes for any hotspot, not just C, but it's very, very important on C. From there, I usually take a couple steps back and I pull out my manipulator. Now you could use floor tiling and make this look real nice and neat and lay everything out. But this one's pretty much out of sight from the base, so I'm not too worried about this. Plus I'm getting silica powder. So it's, resources on top of resources. Then you want to select electromagnetic generator, double check your color scheme, and get those down into that field. For a base this size, we're either going to use 6 or 9 of these and just lay them side by side. And the one thing I will tell you that I really stress on quite a bit is as I put each layer down, I always connect the wires. It's very important. Now with those 6 connected, let's check our grid. 877 is kind of the bottom end. I think we're going to add 3 more. And that brings me to the next part, is either bring a ton of ferrite dust or bring a ton of metal plating. I'm talking 200, 300, 400 metal plating, even for these smaller farms, because you're going to need it. So now that we got the other 3 in, we've got a little over 1300 KPS ready to go. Now we can actually connect the power back to our base. So let's grab a battery. And again, color scheme, I know it's a thing. We're going to put one here, and then we're going to put one further down the hill, and we're just going to run this through a series of batteries all the way back down to our base. I wish you could just do it in one, but it does take a little bit of work, and that's why it's really important to get to that center location between the spot you're trying to mine and the power supply that you have. That way, it doesn't take very long to get to either side of it. From there, you can just kind of extend and bring that wire back up. We have to go back up the hill here a little bit, but we can just do this, and we just continue to work our way down. Once we get all the way down the hill, and this was only about 3 batteries or so going down the hill, I placed one pretty close to the power source. We're going to snap another wire back up to our last one, and voila, guys, we've got a powered base. Real simple, and we're not using much of our energy, only like 33 KPS. Let's get into the next part. For me, the next thing that I like to do is work from the base back down to where we're going to mine. Remember that corridor that we had with the hollow door? We're going to place one supply depot kind of right in that. This is going to make this a really stop and go kind of little farm. All you have to do is teleport in, grab your stuff, you can teleport right back out instead of having to go anywhere else or walk around. These are super, super efficient. From there, I'm going to go ahead and towards our mine, put another supply depot, connect that back up to this one, and we've already started about halfway down with just the one supply depot. I think total on this, I'm going to want between 8 and 9 supply depots. The next step is I'm going to put a battery down, and then we're going to go ahead and work power down to this as we go as well. For me, it just makes it simpler in the long run. You can do this any way you'd like to. You can go down there and set this up with the miners first and then come back, or you can come down like I'm going. It's a real simple process. Now this part, once we've worked back down, it's the same as your power supply, except for it's called a couple of different things. Density underfoot and max density. Again, you just want those numbers to be close. Here we're kind of in a wonky spot where we're on the side of a hill, so I'm definitely going to use my terrain manipulator and flatten out a space so we can get the next step of everything going. So kind of same as before, we just want to go ahead and identify that max density underfoot is what we want. Now we know it's that spot. Now we're going to be going to the mineral extractors. Again, salvage data guys, do this early and often. I know it's a grind, but you can make so much more money if you just take the time to do that early. This is going to be a small farm. For things like emerald, you just don't need a whole lot of it every day. So we're going to be only using 6 miners on this, and that's it. So we only have to power about 300 out of that. Also, always wire these up as you go and go ahead and connect them to supply pipe as you go. It will help you in the long run with everything going forward. The last major component of our little build today is going to be the supply depot bank. For me, I'm only going to put about 6 of them in here because you just don't need that much emerald on a regular basis. There are a few crafting recipes, but they're few and far between, and it's not all that much of them to make the stuff that you need to make. The other thing here, instead of just connecting the supply depots to themselves, you want to make sure you connect that back to your miners so that you have a closed loop and that storage is actually working. If you don't connect them to the miners, it's not storing nothing. This kind of brings me to the point of why I'm actually, after 3 years, going back into No Man's Sky. I got something in mind I think you guys are going to like. It's a really big build, and I've done it before, but I haven't done it in 3 years. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to need all these resources going forward to do these type of builds. So if you're into that type of stuff, and you like the building aspect of No Man's Sky, give this video a like, and maybe subscribe to the channel, because it helps a ton, and it'll let you know when I put out the next one, which is going to be probably a top 5 farm video. And I think it'll be really helpful to a lot of people. Now that we got everything all connected up top, it's time to get ourselves back connected to the base. So at the base of this hill, and if this was on a more flat area, you could stretch this out a little further. But for us, we're going to have to do this pretty close to the base of where this hill is. We want to put down a battery and another supply depot. From there, all you really need to do is go into your wiring and connect this up and to your miners. Remember, miners take power, supply depots do not, so always consider that when you're making your the size of your electromagnetic field. I always tend to err on the side of caution. And then you also have to bring that supply depot up to your deal. This one's a little bit awkward, so I'm just going to connect it to this one here. Usually I would have that set up where it'd come off a supply depot because it's just a little bit easier. And then all we really need to do is kind of go down here on builder cam and connect back from the base with the supply pipe and the wire, and we're going to have a live base. And let's go ahead and show you back at base how this runs. And this is the part I just love about these builds. You just teleport in, you walk right over here, you can just check out your supply depot. We're making about 1,000 an hour with an overall storage of 10.5, which means this thing's going to refill about 2.5 times a day. So about 2.5 stacks, give or take, a little bit more than that. Not bad. You're never going to need that much emerald, but I love this design simply for this reason. The last thing that I do with each of these small builds, and this is a pro tip, name it. Go back to your base computer, name it what it is. That way you always know. You don't have to worry about, oh, which one was it? You can also capture a screenshot if you like, and I do tend to do that just so it doesn't look so generic. But since you guys have stuck around all the way to the end, I do want to show you a quick example of what this kind of build can be and just how simple it is to get multiple resources in one spot. So let's warp over to a different base, and I'll show you what I got going on. With this build, I went into it with the exact same thinking, okay, I need radon. Let's go get some radon because I don't have a mine for that. But what I realized was I had a really decent little deposit of magnetized ferrite. And in a different video, I'll go into why that's a really important resource. But just know that if you can find something that has the holy trinity, as I call it, power, gas, and a mineral, you're in a really good spot. And you should definitely think about making these bases when you find those. Never in a billion years did I think I'd be back playing No Man's Sky in 2023, yet here I am having a good time. And if you guys had a good time, definitely subscribe to the channel. I've got way more stuff coming. Farm videos, build videos, you're going to want to see it. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.